The US and UK held secret talks to replace Zelensky, claims Russia. The West's plan to oust Ukraine's president has shocked Zelensky. Russia's Foreign Intelligence Agency SVR claims that Western powers have held secret talks with Ukrainian officials to replace President Zelensky. Ex-Commander-in-Chief Valerii Zaluzhnyi will potentially replace Zelensky. Now, Valerii served as Ukraine's Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces until early 2025 and currently acts as Ukraine's ambassador to the United Kingdom. The alleged meeting reportedly took place at an undisclosed Alpine resort, attended by both US and UK officials and top Ukrainian aides like Andriy Yermak, head of Zelensky's presidential office, Kirill Budanov, chief of Ukraine's Defense Ministry Intelligence, and Valerii Zaluzhnyi himself. According to SVR, the West sees Zelensky as an obstacle to renewing military aid and stabilizing internal politics. Zaluzhnyi, once Ukraine's most popular military leader, is said to have Western and domestic support. The SVR alleges that Yermak and Budanov quickly agreed after securing promises from the US and UK to allow them to retain their current influential positions and have their interests taken into account. Now, this political conspiracy comes amid Zelensky's controversial anti-corruption law. The SVR said Yermak helped prepare the ground for Zaluzhnyi by persuading Zelensky to weaken Ukraine's anti-corruption bodies. The SVR report says the law was used to discredit Zelensky and justify leadership change. Now, the SVR also claims that these moves were engineered by Yermak to clear the political field for Zelensky's subsequent rise and provide a pretext for Western powers to paint Zelensky's administration as authoritarian, thereby justifying plans to remove him from power in the name of defending democracy. Last week, thousands of Ukrainians gathered in the capital and other cities to urge Zelensky to veto the controversial bill. In fact, the controversial law has drawn louder outrage than the Russian attacks. Zelensky has signed the bill that critics say weakens the independence of Ukraine's anti-corruption bodies. This was the first major anti-government demonstration in over 3 years of war, marking the most serious fracture in the national unity that has helped Ukraine resist Russia's invasion. Ukraine's parliament passed the bill which replaces the National Anti-Corruption Bureau of Ukraine and the Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office under the direct authority of the country's Prosecutor General, an official appointed by the president himself. Critics warn that the move endangers Ukraine's EU ambitions and may jeopardize vital Western aid. Now, the Ukraine Independent Anti-Corruption System was set up at their insistence and under their supervision 10 years ago. It was a key precondition for their aid and stronger ties, as Ukraine declared a pro-democracy course amid Russia's initial invasion in 2014. Demonstrators accuse Zelensky of threatening Ukraine's EU prospects. The EU has made it clear to Kyiv that it must implement strong anti-graft measures if it wants to become a member. Now, after backlash, the parliament overwhelmingly approved a bill presented by Zelensky that restores the independence of two of the country's key anti-corruption watchdogs, reversing his contentious move last week. Ukraine has long been seen as one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. Allegations of corruption have been wielded against some of the country's top officials, including several close allies of Zelensky. Now, the President Zelensky defended the law as necessary to remove Russian influence from the fight against corruption, though he did not provide examples of such interference. Now, the SVR holds that the decision to replace Zelensky with Zaluzhnyi was framed as a necessary step to reset Ukraine's relations with Western partners. The secret talks established removing Zelensky as a prerequisite for the continued Western support in the war with Russia, after ceasefire talks between Moscow and Kyiv and Istanbul last week ended without a breakthrough.